Hello, it's Claire Brennan illustrating for Gina K Designs. Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to show you my newest stamp set today. It's called Lovely Lilies. Today's card features the Lovely Lilies stamp set, and I also use the Cottage Gardens stamp set in the background. All other supplies are listed. Pause if you want to take notes. The Lovely Lilies set is a layering stamp set, and you can use as many or as few layers as you wish to create the look you're after. Here's a few examples. This is what the Lilies stamp set looks like out of the package. You can see that there are 3 layers for the lily plus an outline and other stamps we'll talk about later. For my card today, I'm using some pre-cut shapes that I made with the free cut files and my Silhouette Cameo. For this project, I will stamp all 3 solid layers of the lily plus the outline. The first layer of the lily that I stamp will be the one with the least imagery on it, and I'll stamp that in the darkest colour. The second layer I will stamp in the mid-tone, in this case I think that's Sweet Mango. And the third layer, which is the solid layer, the complete solid layer, I'll stamp in the palest ink, which in this case is Sweet Corn. Then I'll follow that up with the outline in dark chocolate, and I find stamping it in that order makes it much easier to line up. The next thing I'm going to stamp are the little stamens from the inside of the flower, and I'll do those in dark chocolate and I'll position them just right in the centre. I'm also going to put on the little dot pattern, which just takes a moment or two to line up. The leaves are stamped in the same way. I begin with the version of the leaf that has the least imagery on it, and I'll stamp the larger one next, and in this case I'm just using 2 layers. I'm not bothering with 3 for this project. Finally, I'll add the outlines in dark chocolate once again. Now I decided to add some detail to the background of my card, and I picked the Cottage Garden stamp set because the drawings in it are quite intricate and you really don't have to do a lot of work to make a card look very detailed. I use post-it notes to make a mask, and I tend to use a scalpel. I find it much easier to use if I just turn the page around, and then I don't really have to do a lot of awkward cutting. I used the little solid trees from the Cottage Garden set, and I just stamped those in the solid colour. I think it's sweet corn this time, and then I'll use the sweet corn and sponge around the edges. Just when I have the sweet corn ink out, I'll sponge around the little shape that I'm going to stamp the Cottage Garden gate onto. I cut this out earlier, again with free cut files that I've made for you, and with my Silhouette Cameo. Saves a lot of fussy cutting. The cut files for both of these sets are free, and I'll pop a wee link up underneath the video. I'm just adding a little bit of extra simple detailing around the edge, just a little simple border masked off with post-it notes and sponged with a really light covering of dark chocolate ink. Now, because this card base is covered in lots and lots of different inks for the sponging and the stamping, I'm just taking a wee minute to use one of those, you know, those little magic bags you get with corn flour in them to kind of smooth off the background so that when I stamp the sentiment and put clear embossing powder on it, doesn't stick to the background. I'll go back into the flowers that I stamped earlier and add a little bit of clear embossing powder, and I'll do that by over stamping with Versamark on top of the stamens. And finally, I'll stamp the garden gate image onto that little panel that I prepared earlier, and I'll use dark chocolate ink for that. And now it's time to put the whole thing together on a pre-prepared dark chocolate card base, and I'm using double-sided tape and those little dimensional foam pads, and you can just see how it goes together. And that's pretty much it. You can make this card in lots of different colorways, like you can see at the beginning of the video. I hope you found it useful, and if you have any questions, give me a shout and I'll try and answer them for you. Thanks now, bye.